Hello, everyone. This talk about John Buchan's Oxford is something given originally to a meeting of the John Buchan Society in Oxford on the 10th of March 2023. It lasts about 40 minutes or so with a few slides. It's now recorded for the benefit, for the convenience of members and others, and I hope you find it useful and interesting. I'm now going to share the screen. Okay, so here we are, we're off. And I wanted to say just a few sort of general words to begin with about John Buchan. He was born in 1875. He was there he is, age 3. He spent perhaps the most enjoyable parts of his childhood and his young adulthood with his mother's family in and around the town of Peebles, which was in reality a very different world to the world of Oxford, which we're going to talk about today, consider today. A son of the manse, his devout father told him of English oppression in the Covenanting past as part of an all-in package of history and traditions of Scotland. His early writing dwelt on the distinctive border landscape with its valleys and streams in which he learnt to fish, and the drovers' roads on the tops leading to exotic faraway places. His first foray into England came when he crossed the border on a bicycle in his teens, and he was surprised to find that the rural folk he met on the other side of the Tweed were very like his own kin in Peebles. John Buchan's life was imbued with this Scottishness. Half the 30 or so novels he wrote, and most of his wonderful short stories, are set partly or wholly in Scotland. As a poet, he wrote much in the Scots language. When he became a reviewer, one of his first major challenges was a multi-part review of Andrew Lang's massive History of Scotland. Lang had been at Oxford several generations before Buchan, and perhaps had deserved this snatch of doggerel, what's on the screen now, from his fellow Scot, Robert Louis Stevenson. My name is Andrew Lang. Andrew Lang, that's my name. And criticism and cricket is my game. With my eyeglass in my eye, am I not a lardy-dardy Oxford kind of Scot? Am I not? And as a biographer and historian, as well as a novelist, JB wrote at length of the Royal Scots Fusiliers, Sir Walter Scott, and the Kirk in Scotland. When he became a Member of Parliament in 1927, it was, of course, for the Scottish universities. His first major public engagement as the monarch's representative was as Lord High Commissioner to the General Assembly of the Church of Scotland, and when he became Chancellor of a university in 1938, it was to Edinburgh that he was appointed. So, how could a person so conditioned and shaped be drawn to Oxford and develop an intimate association with it, which lasted well over a quarter of a century? Now, the easy part is that he came here as a promising young student. Then young men and later women of talent and ambition came here from all over the United Kingdom, and they still do, although admittedly a tiny proportion, and actually not many these days from Scotland. Between 1895 and 1899, aged 20 to 24, rather on the old side actually for an undergraduate even now, Buchan was at Brasenose College, doing the 4-year Literae Humaniores degree, Latin and Greek, literature and history. He was an able and an ambitious student, already a published writer when he came up to Oxford, who somehow managed to persuade a London publisher to let him write the volume on Brasenose for their collection of accounts of Oxford colleges. And this is one of the illustrations from that book. The view from his staircase, from Buchan's staircase, in his first year in the college, done by a fellow student in neighbouring rooms who became a close friend, a man called Taffy Bolter. Buchan tried twice for an All Souls Fellowship, which he failed to get.